Hello, beautiful ones. I'm going to get right into the video today. We are all one. What does that mean? Does it have to have a spiritual connotation? Does it have to have a religious meaning? Does it have to be something that's in depth or that it's hard to understand? No, it doesn't. And quite frankly, we as humans make things extremely difficult. But as Jesus Christ said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Well, we are all one. We are created from the same source. And so when you think about an atom and how an atom looks and how everything in nature looks, there is a force of polarity. And every time this atom is created into existence, and then the atoms form molecules, and then that forms whatever it forms, it's done in exactly the same way. Why? Because there is a grand design, and everything is created from the same grand design. From the smallest living thing to the largest living thing. And that includes universes, galaxies, stars, planets, plant life, human beings, animals, everything is created from the same design. And this can be proven again and again. So now to get into it scientifically, that's not me. Okay? I'm not a scientist. I'm not an engineer. But I do have an intuitive knowing, and it comes also from wisdom from the life that I've lived thus far. And I'm just referring to right now this life as to what I've been through, but it's reminded me intuitively, because we all carry that energy from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. Now, again, some of you may not believe that, but it's been proven again and again. So, for me, I'm only going to discuss how this has applied to my life in my 40 years and what it means to me now. So, when we look at human beings and how we are created, we have something that is called homeostasis, and basically that is being in a perfect state of well-being. And then you have the opposite of that, which would be a dysfunction, dis-ease, okay? And so that would be the opposite of perfect wellness, homeostasis. Well, it applies to any living thing. It could be in homeostasis, and it could be in dysfunction, disease, okay? Plants get diseases, animals get diseases, humans get diseases. Now, we have complex brains, they say, but one thing that I have noticed is we are still quite primal, okay? We are primal creatures in this stage of evolution, this huge, massive evolutionary cycle that we are part of, okay? Remember the grand central design, we are part of it. And we need to understand that we are still extremely primal. We have two states of being. Everything has two states of being. And that is residing in a space of fear and residing in a space of love. Okay, again, polarity. We cannot have existence without polarity. So, we have love and fear. The primal brain, which we do have, as we develop in utero, our brain develops. Our organs and every part of our body and brain are developing at the same time. The brain is like a road map to the body, okay? Now, the primal part of the brain stem, okay, there's the brain stem, the cerebellum, the pons, those are considered primal brain. Now, in this world, we are functioning mainly on the primal brain. The primal brain that has, the way that we've been around for millions of years as humans. We are all run on a program. We all have a program, okay? And that's not to sound like, please understand, I'm not saying a program as if something up there is programming us and controlling us like robots. I'm not talking about that. But we do have a program. Just like your body, your brain, and organs, they talk to each other, okay? They send each other signals. And that is how our body is controlled. And we, as energetic beings, as everything being energy, we all have a grander program, okay? And that program, it's like a master program, like a computer. And it tells us what we need to do, okay? We all have that. You can call it instinct. You can call it a knowing. You can call it intuition. You can call it energy, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. But we are all part of this program because it is how we function. And just as we have a brain-body connection, we also send our energy up to a higher source. We're constantly receiving information, putting out information. So understand, again, I'm not saying that we're just like these zombies, these mindless puppets that are being controlled, but it is energy, and energy is information. So we're constantly receiving and outputting energy, and that is the program, okay? So our brains and our body, our brain, body, when something is going on, when the body needs to be controlled, like, thermostat, our body communicates with the brain, okay? But when we are in a state of fear, when we are in a constant state of fear, we're outputting that fear into the world, into the environment, and we're sending out that signal. That program is then put into place. It is a program that the body says, okay, we are in a state of fear. Fear is panic, paranoia, extreme behavior, whatever is created from fear, which there are many, many, many things created from fear, just as they are created from love. A special program is put into place by the body. Now, because we are all different people and we all have different perceptions, this fear and how it affects our bodies is different from person to person. So if we are running in a state of fear, and that primal brain has been activated into fear, we output that fear, and that program, not only that fear program, that fear-based program is activated in us, it sends out that message to the universe, okay? Well, to the world and then to the universe, and etc., 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 etc. Now, mind you, how many billions of people are in the world, and not even just our world and this planet, but other planets and this universe and other universes, okay? Now, when you are operating in a state of fear, the majority of the inhabitants of a specific planet, i.e. Earth, are mainly run on fear, then that program that is going to be activated in our body because of fear is going to be what determines our life, our lives, and how we handle ourselves, how we behave, and how we interact with others. And if it is fear-based, then you can imagine what's happening to yourself and to others and to the world that we inhabit, okay? And we need to understand that this also keeps our energy in our primal brain, and the rest of our brain is not being utilized for evolution, like, muscles. If you don't use them, you lose them. Well, we are only keeping ourselves in this primal state, which is not helping us to evolve. And you have to understand that the reason that people say, like myself, could be looked at as wacky, crazy, or the spiritual, whatever you are, it doesn't matter to me. I really don't care. I'm here to help, okay? As long as I am here on this planet, I am going to speak my mind, and I'm going to help if I can, because this is also applicable to myself, and that goes back to what I was saying, what I've learned in my 40 years. And you would think that, well, this is just a simple life. Who are you? What does that mean to the world? What do you mean to the world? Well, it means a lot to the world. It means a lot to the world because the world needs awareness that fear only breeds fear. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Yes. It's plastered all over. It's from the simplest little nuances to the hugest sign in our face, people. It's not hard. I mean, I understand it can go in depth and it's complicated in many ways. Okay, the most simple of minds might not understand this, but that's okay because the simplest of minds probably love more. Okay? Love doesn't see any color or level of intelligence or level of evolution, okay? We don't need to complicate it in that way. It's about love. Love for yourself, love for others, and that's not going to happen with fear because fear and love are opposites and they cannot reside in the same space. You have to have balance. Now, we were given that primal brain and that fear in order to survive. So, going a little deeper, when we are in that state of fear, then we are in survival mode. Now, depending on what your core woundings are, what your core wounds from childhood, if say your core wounds are being attacked, okay, in whatever way you perceive everything as a vicious attack against you. And so, if you perceive everything and the world around you as a vicious attack, you are going to live your life in a heightened state of fear. And you will only allow yourself very small bits and pieces of being in that state of love. And so everything around you is going to be chaos, and you're going to create chaos over and over and over because that is the message you are sending out. That is the signal you are putting out. And that is what they call law of attraction. Now, you can call it what you want, but when people talk about law of attraction, it's not explained in this way. They're speaking about law of attraction as basically if you have these positive thoughts, that you can attract all that wealth to you and etc., whatever it is that you're seeking. Well, that's not the full story, hun. That's not the full story, my loves. And that's why so many people are disappointed when it doesn't come to them. Okay? And I'm going to get more in depth about this, okay? Because there's so much. And I'm sorry if some of this seems superfluous or if I'm not connecting everything in a way that's concise or that you can understand, but there's just so much information. When I think about this, it's kind of like I'm trying to get it all out. But functioning on a day-to-day level in society with fear. Now you can say, how can I not be fearful? Like, for instance, what happened in Manchester and what's happening. Okay, it's creating fear. Of course, it's creating fear. That's what they want. They want to keep you in a state of fear. They themselves are in a state of fear. So they can only generate that which they produce within themselves, because other countries and other people that are not constantly in a state of fear, they're keeping to themselves. Do you ever wonder? Do you ever wonder about that? Why these other countries aren't involved? Why they're just doing their little thing over there in their little country, just like other beings are doing their own little thing up on their planets and in their universe? Who wants to be around a bunch of maniacs? Love. Love is what we need. Awareness and understanding that you have that within you and that you are your own worst enemy. And it's all in the subconscious mind, programming. But you can take the wheel. You have the power to control your life. And I am not a master at this yet because I'm learning it myself as I speak to you. And so as you can see, this beautiful, wonderful gift, and it's taken me 40 years in just this lifetime to learn these things that I am willing to share with you. And this is truth, and I only speak truth. And whether it angers you, whether it confuses you, whether it brings you enlightenment and joy, whatever it does for you, just allow it. Allow it. If you'd like to judge and you feel you need to judge, judge. Whatever you need to do, that's fine, because it's your life. But for me, I do hope that it brings understanding in some way, something that promotes peace and joy and love in your life. And I truly mean that. And I send this love energy to you. I send it to you for peace and love. And I ask you to send it to those in your life. Please. To the innocent. Because really, we are all innocent. We are all sacred. We are all part of creation. All that is. And I ask you to send this love. I'm not asking you to be somebody's punching bag, to accept. You know, they say, do no harm, but take no shit. Sometimes, you know, you have to be the better person. And that's not always easy. But have awareness when you need you always need to have firm boundaries. Trust me, I've learned this lesson. You have to have firm boundaries or you'll cause harm to yourself. And my next video is going to be all about that. I send love to you all. And I wish this world so much love and peace. Until I speak to you next time, bless you all.